The American Dental Association said flat out it will not go along with new restrictions on healthcare workers infected with the AIDS virus. CBS News health correspondent Edie Magnus has a report.
With a fearful public on its back, the Federal Centers for Disease Control said today it wants a list of procedures which doctors, dentists, and surgeons infected with the AIDS virus could not do without first disclosing their health status to their patients.
For a narrow category of surgical and dental procedures, there is a risk, one that is very small but greater than zero.
Critics, including many major medical organizations, argue that would lead to mandatory testing that could cost infected healthcare workers their jobs.
Some politicians and physicians are determined to punish healthcare workers with HIV infection for their infection.
Despite 5 documented cases of AIDS infection from a Florida dentist, including Kimberly Bergalis, the American Dental Association is refusing to cooperate with government attempts to curtail what its members can do.
I suppose there are some people that would look upon this as stonewalling, but we don't feel that CDC has the science to make the recommendations they have made.
And surgeons like Dr. Jeff Wizoff, who does not have AIDS, say with current infection control procedures like wearing gowns, masks, gloves, handing instruments with the sharp edge turned away, patients are as protected as they can be.
I think the risks right now with modern precautions are as low as they'll ever be.
Aside from the cases in Florida, there are no documented reports of AIDS transmission from doctor to patient. Still, the AMA, the only big medical group to support the CDC, says why wait for that to happen?
The potential is still there that we can transmit what is clearly, at this time, still a lethal disease to our patients.
The CDC says it will compile a list of high-risk procedures with or without the help of major medical groups. And if today's meeting to hear their views was the carrot, the agency can soon brandish the stick. A new law will allow it to withhold millions of dollars for public health programs from any state whose practitioners refuse to comply. Edie Magnus, CBS News, Atlanta.
Another clash involving health policy. The U.S. Surgeon General called on the alcohol industry today to stop aiming beer and wine advertising at the young. But as Wyatt Andrews reports, the call did not include any enforcement action.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. Today's government report on teenage drinking specifically criticizes beer and wine commercials for targeting younger, even underage drinkers.
How about a nice cold Bud, young man?
And for promising that the rewards of alcohol are fun and sex.
And when the Swedish bikini team dropped by, it got a little better.
But with all that firmly on the record, what is the Surgeon General's recommendation? To ask the alcohol industry to stop it.
I call upon the industry to voluntarily give up the irresponsible ads once and for all.
But a coalition of parental and anti-alcohol groups says that voluntary approach just won't work. They want Congress to mandate warning labels, like this one, warning pregnant women they risk birth defects. The kind of warnings that are already on packages, they would put onto every beer or wine advertisement that you see.
Alcohol advertising is undermining our ability to combat America's alcohol problem, and particularly underage drinking.
Industry spokesmen argue there is no proof that these ads cause alcohol abuse, that statistically teen drinking is down. Therefore, they ask, why should they pay to knock their own product?
Nobody's going to pay to have that kind of a contradictory message of, here's a great product, and if you're, one of our customers, I would like you to buy it, but don't buy it.
Congress then will have to decide between a powerful lobby, which says it has the right to advertise a legal product, and advocates who call this the irresponsible glamorization of America's most dangerous drug. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
Yes, get it.
More than half the nation's high school students drink, and most of them, the Surgeon General says, get their drinks the easy way. They walk into a store and buy them. But state budget cuts are likely to make it even easier for teenagers to buy alcohol.
What we're doing is we're posting a suspension, and this is for the sales to the minor case.
Across the country, cutbacks in state agencies that enforce liquor laws are blamed by the Surgeon General for contributing to teenage drinking. And now, California is making the deepest cuts of all, laying off 3/4 of the investigators with the State Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control.
Don't fill in any minors.
John Arguello in the leather jacket is one of 150 state investigators getting pink slips this month. In San Francisco, the layoffs will leave just 4 investigators to watch 6,000 bars, restaurants, and liquor stores. What's the word in the street going to be in this neighborhood?
Open season.
Critics say the budget cuts will make California's liquor laws meaningless.
Whatever teeth there were, and it's pretty toothless, now you're going to have, somebody who's just left with gums, no teeth at all.
Those willing to sell to teenagers know that, too.
We can tell him that we're going to be out here checking, but as far as actually coming out here and seeing if he's selling to minors or anyone else, he can do it.
Just as the Surgeon General is asking for more effort to combat teenage drinking, states with budgets to cut seem likely to be doing less. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
Economists predicted today that with the election coming on, the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates again in the near future in yet another effort to stimulate the U.S. economy. With so many Americans hurting, the CBS Evening News is beginning a new series, which we're dedicated to running all month, designed to help you survive the recession. Tonight, business correspondent Ray Brady shows you how homeowners can save big money in the money crunch, making it in America.
Oh, are you okay? Okay. Patricia and Gary Elrod can hardly believe it. By refinancing their mortgage at today's lower rates, they'll not only be able to afford an addition on their home, they'll be saving tens of thousands of dollars in interest payments.
I'm paying less money. I mean, how can you go wrong, really, when you really think of it? It's a good time.
It sure is. By refinancing an almost 10.5% mortgage at 9%, they'll save $234 a month in payments. Total savings over the life of the mortgage, nearly $85,000.
Should you refinance? Start with this rule of thumb. If you've been in your home at least 2 years, plan on staying at least 2 more, and have a mortgage that's at least 2 percentage points over the current rate, then refinancing may be for you.
And what about refinancing your home mortgage to save on taxes? Take out a slightly larger mortgage at today's low rates. Then pay off your credit card and auto payments. Interest on those is not tax deductible. But you replace that with mortgage interest that is every last penny deductible. It's worked beautifully for Kathy and Jim Quinn.
By taking all those bills and incorporating them and taking out a mortgage, a higher mortgage, we could pay off all them and get rid of the 19%, 21% charge cards, and I think it was 12% car payment.
The savings?
So we did away with about $500-600 worth of bills a month.
What are you looking for, a 30-year fixed rate?
How are you making out with getting your mortgage now?
All set for Monday? Okay, to close the loan. And,
Still, when you go into the mortgage office, make sure you've done your homework. Refinancing's not for everyone. Richard Hand found that out.
Well, to get my monthly payments come down maybe maybe $50 to $100, it was going to cost me maybe another $4,000 to $5,000 in closing costs.
Closing costs are what you pay to refinance your mortgage. Add up all those costs and make sure they come to less than 3.5% of the total value of the mortgage. And one final tip, if you've got a 30-year mortgage, you might want to change it to a 15-year. That way you'll pay it off sooner and you'll save thousands of dollars in long-term interest charges. Ray Brady, CBS News, New York.
You will see and hear more of our special series on the money crunch a little later in the broadcast in Eye on America. Tonight, how to find a job and how to keep a job. Also tonight, an historic scene. 5 presidents of the United States and no precedent. And a dead heat in Pennsylvania, angry voters there may produce a Senate surprise.
Our competition uses a very sophisticated, state-of-the-art, highly precise device to measure their cars. Our car, the Accord from Honda.
Do you have a cold? Yes, I do. Here's 2 cold medicines. This relieves these 3 symptoms, this 9. Choose one. I would use this one. You chose Dristan Cold over Sudafed. Try it. Absolutely. I feel amazingly good.
Dristan, the face of relief today.
Why do more people choose more of each of these brands at Sears Brand Central? One reason is that this 2-Lux LXI camcorder with built-in 8x power zoom and high-speed shutter is now at a low $5.99. Only at Sears Brand Central.
Mario Cuomo is keeping up his criticism of President Bush and the president's handling of the economy. The New York governor said today, and I quote him now, "God helps those who help themselves. Washington doesn't help anybody." End of quotation. Especially in New York newspapers, Cuomo is pictured as being under increasing pressure from many Democrats to run for president, and there is growing speculation that Cuomo might announce his candidacy, or at least his intentions, possibly as soon as this week. In tomorrow's elections, Pennsylvania has the only U.S. Senate race. It is a testing ground for Democratic campaign themes against the Bush administration and against President Bush. As Richard Threlkeld reports, those themes, the economic themes, are having an impact in Pennsylvania. The race is closing hot, tight, and mean.
I'm Dick Thornburg.
Hi.
You know me? Hi, how you doing? I'm looking for votes today.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
It's nice.
It was very simple. Dick Thornburg, former Attorney General and Governor, was supposed to come home to Pennsylvania and trounce that tax-and-spend Democrat what's-his-name in the Senate race.
Thornburg was praised by President Bush for handling one of America's toughest jobs. As Governor Casey's jobs advisor, Wofford watched as taxes skyrocketed.
Just a foretaste of how President Bush is supposed to trounce whoever for the Democrats in 1992.
See you in Washington, Mr. President.
Well, maybe not. What's-his-name, Harris Wofford, a John Kennedy liberal and mild-mannered college president, has stormed back from a 40-point deficit in the polls to just about dead even, capitalizing on voters' disgust with Washington.
I'm turning out to be a messenger from Pennsylvania that they want Washington turned upside down.
Never mind that Wofford's been serving in Washington as interim senator. That angry outsider tactic is one thing the Democrats are trying out here to see if it might work against George Bush. That and accentuating what's on the minds of middle Americans.
Health care, jobs, support for the middle class, and attacking the Washington establishment. And he made Dick Thornburg part of that establishment.
And striking first and often with a well-financed blitz of issue advertising. Wofford's for national health insurance.
If criminals have the right to a lawyer, I think working Americans should have the right to a doctor.
All this has thrown the Republicans off stride, reducing Thornburg to saying mostly, yes, but it's too expensive, a posture that didn't help him in their debates.
You still don't get it, Dick.
It's going to save money?
It's going to save a lot this very morning.
You think people believe that?
Yes.
Any resemblance between this race and the one next year for the White House may be purely coincidental. But what must give the Republicans pause and the Democrats hope is that what seemed to be a sure thing for the Republicans in Pennsylvania is now very much in doubt. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, Harrisburg.
In California's Simi Valley, this was dedication day for Ronald Reagan's $70 million presidential library. The event brought together all 5 living American presidents for the first time. All the first ladies attended too. Of the 10 U.S. presidential libraries, the Ronald Reagan Library is the largest. In all, there were 4,000 invited guests, a mix of Hollywood glitz and politics.
Can't believe he broke it at the company picnic.
Incredible. Our employee health plan covers him, right?
Not deductibles or co-payments.
So he has to lay out his own money.
Gaps in your health plan can be costly. Aflac can help. Aflac is a leader in supplemental insurance with 35 years of dependable service. Today, employees of over 80,000 companies count on Aflac for the peace of mind to get on with life.
Any ideas?
Yeah, Aflac.
Aflac, insuring over 35 million people worldwide.
Alaska. Cold, clear waters. This is where it begins. Red Lobster now brings you the Alaskan Crab Rush. When snow crab is at its sweetest, juiciest. Right now, enjoy 8 great crab dinners starting at just $8.99. The Alaskan Crab Rush. Before it's over, rush to Red Lobster.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile.
And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say, Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Before lunch, their lives were just like yours. Then the nightmare began.
Kids, don't shoot it.
Massacre on 48 Hours, Wednesday.
Arabs and Israelis returned to the Middle East today following their first ever direct peace talks in Madrid, Spain. Israeli hardliners are putting up what President Bush considers another obstacle to peace in the Golan Heights. It's a new settlement for Soviet Jews on land captured from Syria, land which the Syrians insist must be returned from the Golan Heights in a peace movement. Mikhail Gorbachev got a badly needed break today when the Ukraine ended its holdout and said it will join, after all, a new economic union. Earlier, Gorbachev warned leaders of the republics that the Soviet Union is standing on the brink of an abyss. Here in New York, I talked today with an ousted former colleague of Gorbachev's who agreed that the situation is critical. Today's admission by Gorbachev that the Soviet Union has approached an abyss comes as no surprise to Gorbachev's former number 2 at the Politburo, Igor Ligachev. Ligachev was once part of Gorbachev's inner circle, an early backer of reforms within the communist system. But as Gorbachev grew more radical, Ligachev increasingly opposed perestroika, becoming known as ultra-conservative. It cost Ligachev his job. In 1990, he lost his bid for deputy Communist Party leader and left the political stage, calling Gorbachev's efforts unjustified radicalism. But many of his predictions about the collapse of the Soviet economy and the Union are now coming to pass. Earlier today, I asked Ligachev if he sees the possibility of another coup in his country.
What we may see ahead is more along the lines of a social explosion. You might see unemployment, food shortages, an energy crisis, which would hit millions of people. In August, when we had the coup attempt, you had just several thousand people who were involved. An economic disaster this winter would affect tens of millions of people.
Do you agree with Boris Yeltsin's most recent economic plan, in which he basically says he's going to let prices find their natural level?
I approve of much that Yeltsin has done, but I do think that he has not looked ahead to how he is going to get out of the situation. He's looking at a plan to create heaven on earth within a year, and it's very difficult to believe that can be done.
Coming up next, Eye on America tonight, answered prayers for the unemployed.
To survive in today's world, you have to follow certain basics. You have to work, and you have to eat. And both play havoc with your stomach. That's why I take Malox. Malox is the strongest antacid there is. It works fast to stop the burning and churning in no time. And who knows more about stomach problems than Malox? You know, it's a funny thing. I started taking Malox because the doctor told me it was strongest. I keep on taking it because my stomach tells me it's fast.
Ford Motor Company profiles in quality, employee involvement.
If you're working together, you'll do a better job. I said that back in '82, and the quality of our cars and trucks is proof that it's working today.
Money alone won't build quality cars. You've got to have better design.
Better designs don't mean a thing, unless engineering can live up to the designs.
Engineering works only when everyone is committed to quality.
Our goal is to build the highest quality cars and trucks in the world.
At Ford, quality is job one.
Nighttime, one of the worst times for pain. Pain that's hard to face alone. That's why you need new Ultra Strength Bengay. It's the strongest Bengay ever. For muscle pain that's hard to ignore. Minor arthritis pain. Back pain. Pain that seems worse at night. New Ultra Strength Bengay with added power and a third pain reliever. Deep, penetrating warmth for fast, long-lasting relief. You can say goodnight to your pain with new Ultra Strength Bengay.
They say when you have a cold, eat chicken soup. But did you know that eating certain foods may prevent disease? Meals That Heal, all this week on CBS This Morning. It's breakfast for your head.
Since the start of the recession, the number of unemployed Americans has grown by nearly 2 million. For some, losing a job has meant finding religion and keeping the faith. In tonight's Eye on America, Jacqueline Adams contributes to tonight's beginning of our new series on the money crunch. Making it in America.
be done.
The Trows have always been devoted churchgoers, but today they are praying harder than ever. Last month, Chuck Trow's company reorganized, and his marketing and sales job disappeared.
I feel like I've let them down. There's no job, there's no income, there's nothing on the immediate horizon.
When I think about it, I get a knot right in my chest that it's painful, really.
That pain has prompted 4 churches in Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, outside Pittsburgh, to act.
We have hurt, we have anguish in our pews. What kind of a job are we interviewing for?
In a Sunday school classroom, the churches have set up their own free reemployment center for out-of-work white-collar workers. Churches throughout the country are doing the same thing.
I have 843 people looking for jobs. 72% are college graduates. It's a horrible number. That's just here.
Executive Director David Bates once recruited for U.S. Steel. Now he comforts lawyers and accountants, engineers and salesmen, and teaches professionals who always thought they'd have a job how to find a new one.
The key elements in the campaign are knowing who I am and what I have to sell, and knowing my most plausible customers.
Dan, my name's Chuck Trow.
That means networking, beating the bushes to find an opening before anyone else does.
Which means that everyone that I see that I know, I say, you know, my job's been eliminated. I'm looking for a job, and not that they have one, but maybe they might know of something or someone or some position.
You've got to know how to advertise yourself and how to communicate in writing.
That means beefing up a resume and writing a catchy letter.
May I see your resume? Sure. Please? And you must know how to interview.
Well, Mr. Bates, I hope to go in with people that are as good as I am and have a little bit better interview or a little bit better resume. And that really has helped and been insightful, I hope.
Employment analysts say the current recession has produced thousands of Chuck Trows. Roughly 2,000 white-collar workers are being let go every single business day, more in the first 9 months of this year than in all of 1990. As a result, the experts say job security has taken on a whole new meaning.
The basic idea is to have 2, 3, 4 sources of income so that if you do get fired, one of you gets fired, you still have the others to hold you up during the hard times. And that's where real job security comes, is not being dependent on any one particular paycheck.
I'll be in a minute. I'll bring you a napkin. Don't spill it.
Chuck now receives just $299 a week in unemployment benefits. With no piano lessons for the kids, no cable TV, and no eating out, he thinks they can last 6 or 7 months.
Gas, electricity, and mortgage, there isn't much to cut out. I mean, we are going to have to eat.
Ironically, having more time with his family only adds to Chuck's anxiety.
I love my kids, and I'm glad to have the time with them, but I need to have a job. That will really give them what they need in the long run.
What is your worst nightmare? How bad could it be?
Move in with our families, I guess.
As frightened as Nancy and Chuck Trow are, the odds are he will find another job. With the glut of experienced middle managers on the market, though, the experts warn he'll probably have to take a sharp pay cut or move to another city. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, New Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
We want to show you what an American car company can do when we put our minds to it. In 1989, this Dodge Viper was just a concept. In January, it'll be rolling off an assembly line in Detroit, Michigan. Nobody in the country ever developed a car that fast. From now on, every new car Chrysler makes is going to be built the way this one was. And that's by a team. Product and manufacturing engineers, designers, finance guys, and marketers, all working together with one idea, making a great car. And this is where they'll do it, our new billion-dollar Chrysler Technology Center. We'll have 7,000 people here, designing, testing, hand-building prototypes. There's even a pilot factory to get it right before we produce a single car. We've been telling you about Chrysler advantages for some time now. We've changed this company to give you even higher quality cars, faster, and at lower cost. For those of us who forgot, it's called being competitive.
Take some vegetables and presto salad shooter.
Shoot some slices salad shooter.
Point and shoot right into stir fry or casserole.
Shoot some shreds salad shooter.
For hash browns or coleslaw.
Shoot it fast, shoot it neat, shoot it pretty. Salad shooter.
Presto Salad Shooter Slicer Shredder. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe. Small enough to store anywhere. Great salads and much, much more.
Salad Shooter.
Original, cordless rechargeable, and now professional salad shooter.
This is regular. This is better. This Bayer is regular. For headaches, Anacin is better. Why better? Regular Bayer has one ingredient. Anacin has two. A pain medicine plus a second ingredient that makes it work better. Get Anacin. Get better.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
In South Africa, millions of black workers went on strike today, shutting down much of the economy. Violence associated with the strike is blamed for at least 15 deaths. 10,000 Filipinos turned out to welcome Imelda Marcos home from exile today. Bill Whitaker reports.
It's one of the most remarkable political resurrections in years. Imelda Marcos, booted out of the Philippines just 5 years ago as the embodiment of greed and corruption, today came back, passing herself off as a symbol of hope and salvation, the prodigal daughter home from exile. Her performance was electric, sparking a political charge this nation hasn't felt since Corazon Aquino's people power dimmed several years ago.
The Philippines loves political drama. The return of Imelda Marcos now sets the stage for the Battle of the Widows. Imelda, the Tammy Faye Baker of Asia, versus the Joan of Arc-like Corazon Aquino. Politics rarely gets more dramatic than that. Imelda was the gaudy queen of excess. Too many shoes, so many parties. The Aquino government says it has proof she and her late dictator husband Ferdinand looted billions from the national treasury.
It was an unmitigated plunder of the nation's wealth. The greed was almost unparalleled, and the pattern almost remorseless.
But many of the people who've watched the economy and their quality of life deteriorate with Aquino's good intentions seem willing to forgive and forget.
Imelda! Imelda!
Though her well-orchestrated homecoming had all the trappings of a classic campaign, Marcos claims she has no political ambition. Almost nobody here believes that, especially the Aquino government, which fears for wealth and power.
The potential for destabilization with the use of those resources is real.
So Imelda Marcos, whose original performance was panned by the critics, is polishing up her act, hoping her golden oldies sound better the second time around. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Manila.
And that's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather for the CBS Evening News. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Are you having trouble paying your bills? Have you lost your job? How to make the best of these tough times. A month-long series, The Money Crunch, continues tomorrow on the CBS Evening News. This is CBS.
With a smile, she poured me a cup of Boyd's French Medallion.
Some people eat only one fruit or vegetable a day, while others eat 2 or 3. But for a healthy diet, Safeway and the American Cancer Society suggest that you eat 5 a day. At Safeway, we make it easy to choose 5 with our outstanding...